There was a kapitel. My mother says that he used to say one kapitel very always. Lamed something, no? Lamed hey, lamed vav or something.
I wasn't home.
My mother always says one kapitel he always used to read.
So these things I didn't know. But that's the way it was. Then I'll tell you another story. He told me one time, when I left St. Louis, so I didn't leave the yeshiva because I wanted to.
Right.
Klein pushed me out of the yeshiva, and I was very upset. And I didn't have anybody that I could talk to about it. So one day I decided I'm going to talk to my father about it. And I told him the whole story. So after I finished, I wanted to hear what does he think about it. So he turns to me and he says to me, one sentence, F Shehotashim Gitan Tshuva. That's it. He didn't say anything more or anything less. I mean, I couldn't relate to that.
Say.
If I would have told the story to my mother, we would have talked about it for hours maybe. So that's what he told me.
Now, what's the connections to the Landows?
So anyways, that's basically the connection to the Yaakov. The connection with the Landows is like this. At one point, the Landows came to Liebau. Rav Landau really didn't have parnasa.
They came to Liebau. From where did they come?
From Russia.
From Russia? They lived in Russia?
Yeah, they came from Russia.
They're a Lubavitcher family, right?
They're a Lubavitcher family, and they came from Russia. And Rav Landau was very close with Rav Yosef Yitzchak's father.
The Rashab.
Right. He was very close with him. And he come out lived together with him. But with Rav Yosef Yitzchak, he wasn't close. So that was his story. Anyways, he came to Liebau and he really didn't have parnasa.
Why did he come to Liebau? Just curious.
He needed a place to live, basically. That's what he did.
From all places, he picked Liebau.
Yeah. Well, Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak, who at one point was in Riga for a long time.
Right, he was in Riga.
Lubavitch was in Riga.
Right.
And they had a yeshiva there, too.
Right. How far is Riga from Liebau?
By train, it's a couple hours. So Rav Landau came. So what could he do? He made a minyan. And he had barely a minyan. Now, my grandfather was my father's brother.
Oh, Bobby's father, right.
He was my father's brother.
He was, what's his name?
Huh?
He was, what was his name?
He was what?
What was his name?
Eliezer Lippman.
All right, he's Eliezer Lippman, okay. All
right, so he supported Rav Landau. He mamish gave him bread. They wouldn't have had bread if it wouldn't be from my grandfather. He supported him. He did not daven in his minyan. He davened in a big shul. He never davened here, but he supported him. And
he had a few dollars?
Yeah.
He was a Balabat Rashid?
My grandfather. He had a big house. We lived there. My mother was born there, and all the years until we left Liebau, we lived in that house.
Oh, yeah?
My father, when he was a bacher, a teenager.
You remember the house?
Of course I do.
How old were you when you left?
5.5. I remember the house.
Yeah.
I used to watch my grandfather eat breakfast every day.
Yeah?
That's what I used to do. That was a saying. I used to sit next to him when he ate. He always ate the same thing every single morning. He ate a herring, a herring, schwarze bread, and a coffee. That was it. The menu never changed. And the whole time I was there, neither of us said a word. He didn't say anything to me, I didn't say anything to him. was the Seder Hadvar. So, anyways, so besides having a big house, he also had a big store in the house where he sold like all kinds of different things. Like he used to sell grease was from schmear to red from the wagons, all kinds of different things he sold in the store. It was like a general store. Plus, he had a gigantic oven there made out of bricks. The oven was like almost as wide as this room over here. And it was long till about where you're sitting.
Wow.
Excuse me, Reuven, did I say the right thing? That your father and your grandfather were brothers, right?
Right.
Right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that funny? Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby Axelrod was a niece of Zadie.
Right, she married her uncle, right.
Yeah, so anyways, he had a big oven like that.
Right.
Your
And he
Bubby's
hired a baker.
parents.
And they used to bake bread there every single day. And the oven never stopped.
Wow.
It went for 7 days a week,
Wow.
a whole year, except for Pesach. Now, on the side of the oven, there was a steel door.
What did he do
And
back in Europe?
if you opened up the door, there was a whole compartment in there, like a small little room
You know
come
that
out.
this
Okay.
samovar
And
have, that was, they used to
that
use
was
it in
made
Europe.
to hold everybody's
So it
chon.
wasn't-
Oh, Shabbos,
all
right.
the neighbors
Brought it from
Right.
Europe.
used to come Erev Shabbos
Just leave the child
and
there.
put the chont in there, and there was an Erev in the city.
Because it was her.
So, and on Shabbos morning, everybody came and took out his chont. That's the way it worked. So that was my grandfather, and he had a big piece of land, and he had a big shed in the yard, and inside this shed there was barrels of all kinds of things, like sour pickles, sauerkraut,
Oh, fermented stuff.
all kinds of stuff that was in there, and that was for a whole year like that. And yeah, so that was the setup. Anyway, so he supported Reuvan, and Mela, my parents, they were like a young couple, and the Landers were also a young couple. So they became
Very friendly.
because of that. They became very friendly. I always say Rav Landa was my Rav before I was born. What happened? My parents didn't have children for 5 years.
After the chasana?
Didn't have children. So at one point, my mother decided to take a pregnancy test. So you had to send a urine sample to the lab. But the lab was not in Riga, probably in Riga. And so they decided that it's too much excitement for her to get the results. So the results, they made up the return address was Rav Landa. Would be sent to him, he would get the results. So when the results came and it was positive that she was pregnant, so Rav Landa said to his Rebbetzin, he said, he doesn't want her to go to my mother and tell her. He says, "Men darf wissen, wie anzusagen a gute Bsura reichen." And he's going to go and tell my mother. So I always say, Rav Landa was my Rav before I was born.
And how did he say the psura?
I don't know, but he went. He did it. He went.
I know, I think it was like in first grade or something.
Now, did they have any shaykhs called Lubavitch or anything with that? Or your grandfather, Lamashal, Bobby's father, did he stay still in Liba?
In the shul that he davened in was Ashkenaz.
Was Ashkenaz
The
already?
big shul, yeah, the big shul was Ashkenaz.
But the other part of the family stayed Lubavitch? Any of the uncles, Zadie's brothers stayed?
Not that I know of. Like, my father he didn't name me after his father. His father died right after he was born.
Right.
He didn't name me after his father because he didn't know. And also, when my father was young, so stayed by different members of the family. And a long time, he had an uncle. His name was Reuvan, and he was a well-to-do man. He had a glass sukkah in Russia.
Wow.
But I heard it's very precious. It's like
And he stayed by him for a long time. And that's who he named me after.
Oh, yeah?
He named me after him.
What was his last name?
Maybe Axelrod. I don't know. I never heard his name. I just, we used to talk about him, Uncle Reuven. That's all I knew about him. So he named me after him.
And my mother was after
His mother.
his mother.
His mother he knew because she was nifted when he was around 12 years old.
I don't know where to go with Rachel.
Her name was Miriam.
It's a little crazy.